Welcome to hell. Saying that I'm a fan of anything cyberpunk is an understatement. The second I heard that RUINER was released, I bought it immediately. Developed by REIKON Games and published by none other than Devolver Digital, RUINER is an isometric shooter set in the year 2091. Because of how short the game is, I'm gonna try to keep this review relatively spoiler-free. So let's talk about the entire story. So basically, you're a guy wearing a mask and you start the game off with a hacker commanding you to kill boss. You fight your way through security and eventually reach the door that leads to the boss. Before you can open it, however, you get cut off from the hacker's control. Now you're best buddies with another hacker known only as Her. She tells you that the people who hacked you and sent you to kill the boss used your brother as leverage. Having no memory, you go along with it and go on a quest to rescue your brother, killing everyone along the way. Along the way, you make friends with a mechanic, a former cop, an activist, a businessman, and the local greasers. One by one, you kill all of the people involved in the kidnapping of your brother and the failed assassination attempt on the boss. As you plow through countless enemies and bosses, you start to see the truth behind the virtuality experiences provided by heaven to the rich. Towards the end, you realize that everything she told you is a lie. Towards the end, you rescue your brother and you live happily ever after. Anyway, that's it for the story. Let's move on to the gameplay. Basically, the game is the Dark Souls of Hotline Miami Transistor Super Hot Likes because of how hard it is and how I can't get past the tutorial. Seriously though, RUINER is a fast-paced isometric shooter and the best way I can describe it is that it plays very similarly to Hotline Miami, though a little more forgiving in that you don't die in one hit. That being said, the game can be very challenging depending on both the difficulty level you've chosen and your playstyle and skill as a player, obviously. Expect to die a lot in your first playthrough. I mean really, you can die a lot in the tutorial level if you're not careful. First of all, you get to choose one of 3 difficulty levels: easy, normal, and hard. I played through the entire game on hard and oh boy, that was frustratingly fun. There's an NPC named Disorder or something who apparently rewards you for getting a certain number of deaths, but as to what that number is, I have no idea. Apparently, I still haven't experienced enough pain to receive a reward. As for the other NPCs, they're either there to give you very minor and trivial subquests or just pointless small talk. I think the only real side quest was the one where you hack cats for some hooligan. Yeah, you hack cats for her, just roll with it. There's also this old lady that gives you fortunes if you collect a certain number of coins for her that are found in each level. Anyway, these are all completely optional and you're free to ignore them if you want. I personally did all of them because, hey, why the hell not? Free karma and exposition, whatever. The XP you earn in the game is called karma. You can gain karma mainly by clearing areas and opening boxes. After gaining enough karma, you level up and earn skill points, which you can use to unlock and level up your abilities. The game gives you the freedom to learn and unlearn skills whenever you want, so you can easily tailor your build to whatever you're going to fight next. Your weapons in the game are mainly a pipe and a pistol with unlimited ammunition. Early in the game, your base melee weapon gets replaced with a sword, while your gun can be upgraded through the skill tree. Other weapons you get to pick up are all temporary and have very limited ammo. These weapons are immediately dropped after your ammo runs out, or in the case of melee weapons, it breaks. One can easily get by with just the base weapons, but never underestimate the effectiveness of the things that you can pick up. It should be noted that picking up weapons will almost always activate a slow-mo mechanic that opens up a lot of opportunities or just gives you a bit of breathing room. In the brief moment you're slowed down, you can line up your shots, dodge out of the way of an attack, etc. Moving on to the enemies you get to face, the game will throw new enemy types at you with every level. You start off fighting regular corporate security and gang members, and eventually you'll end the game fighting heavily augmented cyborgs and what I guess you could consider to be zombies. Most of them have very predictable attack patterns except for the melee enemies who sometimes frantically dash in and out of action, and I also don't know if this was only because I was playing on hard, but almost every enemy seems to have the shield ability that also deflects ranged attacks, so that can be a pain in the ass. The bosses aren't much to talk about in my opinion. Most of them are bullet sponges that have the potential to kill you in one hit if you're not careful, especially the mother unit. A single slip up will have you eating a face full of laser that pretty much kills you immediately. Okay, so 1 week prior to making this video, the devs have released a patch that addressed some of the problems that I've had with it, but let's talk about it anyway. First of all, the movement was clearly designed with a controller in mind. If you're playing on the PC version, you'll immediately notice that you're moving on a weird angle due to the isometric perspective of the game. This is a minor issue that'll probably stay, but I can imagine it being a bit disorienting for some people. Next is that there is absolutely no way to rebind your controls, though it's already been confirmed to be coming with the next patch, so hey, that's pretty cool. There's also this collision issue with random objects. Some objects on the ground that you wouldn't expect to have a hitbox have the tendency to be very obstructive. In more than one instance, a random dead body on the ground somehow blocked my shots and movement, completely ruining my momentum and sometimes getting me killed. As for whether or not these were fixed with the previous patch, I honestly can't tell you because I haven't really done any extensive testing on it. Now, my main issue with the game is how you can easily cheese bosses by spamming stun grenade. Most bosses in the game can easily be stun locked with proper energy management and timing. I don't know if the recent patch fixes that, but since they nerfed stun grenade, I'm guessing that it did. I believe that the developers do tend to listen to feedback on the Steam sub forum and update notes, so if you have any issue with the game, feel free to let them know over there. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Overall, I think the game is great. It's flawed, sure, but it's really fun. I'd say that the soundtrack and the aesthetics are also pretty on point. I mean, it fits the whole gritty cyberpunk dystopia thing that they have going. I personally think it has enough replayability to justify its already cheap price tag. I was going to complain about the length of the game, but apparently they plan on releasing more content through free updates and DLCs, so I'll just leave that one out for now. If you're craving for a fast-paced experience with a decent but really short story, and if you're a fan of cyberpunk fiction, then RUINER will be right up your alley. Oh, by the way, there's an achievement for doing a little over 1,000 push-ups. Just saying. Anyway, catch you guys later.
So see you again in the dark side.